La vecinita del frente, puedo cómo camina la gente cuando sale del mercado.
Hello and welcome to the Dave Perez Show. You're in for a delight tonight. I'm with a gentleman who I've known for a few years. He's sort of a mentor to myself. He's a Chicago-born native as well as I. He's Emmy nominated. He's done tons of several works on films. And rather than me just keep talking about him, I'm just going to welcome him to the show. Welcome, Jon Ross.
Hi, how you doing, man?
How you doing, man? It's been a little bit.
I know, it's been what, a couple of years?
A couple of years at least.
Yeah.
You just took off into the blah, you know. Matter of fact, well, we'll get to that part of it.
Okay.
As I said, you're Chicago native, right?
Yep, I am. Born on South Side of Chicago.
Oh, what area?
So I was born, and I spent the majority of my life in the Brainerd area, right by Beverly Hills. But my family moved around a lot, and so I lived in the K-Town on the west side. I lived on the north side. I lived everywhere, so I'm a true Chicagoan. I just filmed in Pilsen last weekend. Nice, yeah. So yeah, and I grew up in Little Village. Okay, so, yeah, I know what it is. Okay. You know, it's cool because, you know, when I go back to Little Village, I know very few people. Yeah. But you know, they ask me what I'm doing because back then I played a lot of soccer. I was very good in soccer. Yeah. Well, I'm an actor. Yeah. Like, no, you're not. Well, I did this and that. I go, oh, yeah, okay, remember that. Yeah. So, you know what, with all due respect, if you and I can make something out of our lives, anyone really can. It's true. It's a little bit difficult sometimes, but it is what it is. Yeah. Getting back, though, to you, you are Emmy nominated for a documentary you did. Yeah, it's called Mountain Bayou, the Jewel of the Delta. And it just came about. It wasn't even planned, to be honest with you. I was in Mississippi visiting family down there, and my wife and I were staying in a hotel in Cleveland, Mississippi, and we were looking for something to do. And we saw a pamphlet in the hotel room that said to go see the town of Mountain Bayou. And I'm thinking to myself, there's nothing to see in the Delta. And when I found out the history of the town, I fell in love with the story. And then, you know, make a long story short, I knew I had to do the movie, and we did it, and almost 10 years. Wow. Now, I mean, I'm getting calls to go to different cities and different events to speak about the movie, even to this day. So it's been a really awesome experience. Now, you say was it a production company of your own at that time? Yeah. So at the time, I had a production company called JR2 Films. Okay. And we were in existence from 2003. And we just went our separate ways earlier this year, which led to me starting my new production company called Some Nobody's Productions. So. Oh wow, yeah. Neat. So earlier years, you were going to school. At what point in time did you say, "Hey, you know what? I want to be an actor. Yeah. I want to be a producer. I want to make films." Yeah. What stage of life did that come around? Yeah, I've known ever since I was 5 years old that I wanted to do this. So I fell in love with movies like The Goonies, Back to the Future, The Lost Boys. I thought they were like the coolest vampires in the world, right? Yep. And I saw these kids acting in the movies, and I thought to myself that I can surely do that, right? Yeah. And but the challenge that I had was that nobody was offering any opportunities for black guy like myself on the south side of Chicago. Yeah. And so I kind of had to learn a lot of the things that I know right now on my own, just by being creative. And so my grandmother, she had a camera that she had gotten from retirement, and I was 10 years old at the time when she had gotten it. She wasn't using it. So I would use that camera to practice film work. I would use that camera to just, get my cousins and my friends in the neighborhoods to come over the house and shoot these scenes that I would create and I would write. And before you know it, I really fell in love with it. And by the time I was 18, I knew it was something I wanted to do, and I went to college and I pursued my career in the film industry. See, that's really cool and unique because all the great directors have said the same thing. Yeah. Exactly, it's your story, but it's Spielberg now. Yeah. I had this little camera. Yeah. It was 8mm. Yeah. And it, I got it at a flea market or whatever, and I just started shooting dogs, and then I started doing this, and and that's the passion that grows in time. Yeah. And you're right. It's at that point in time, it was probably hard, for African Americans to get any breakthroughs. Yeah. The steps have been there since. Yeah. Even for Latinos in Chicago. Yeah. It's grown because of CineSpace. Yeah. And other opportunities. Now they're bringing some more film into Chicago. Yeah.
which you also worked on the set of Barbershop as well.
Yeah.
Now, was that after or before your documentary?
That was way before. So,
so let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school for college?
I went to Columbia College, Chicago, downtown Chicago, and I studied film with a minor in marketing and advertisement. But for me, once I got to college, I started setting goals for myself. And so the first goal I set for myself was that by the age of 20, I wanted to work my first Hollywood film. And the opportunity that came for myself kind of funny. So I was on my way home from class one day, and I stopped at the payphone to call my girlfriend because at the time cell phones was too expensive. I couldn't afford a cell phone. And we had this really, really bad argument. And like to clear my head back in the day, I would go to the theater building because I just loved acting that much, and it would help me clear my head. And they were holding auditions for the movie Ali there. And so I was unprepared, man, because I didn't know anything about the industry, mind you. So I had no connections. I had no history. There was no Google or anything like that for me to find out about the industry. So I had to learn the hard way. So I didn't have a headshot. I didn't have a resume. I didn't have anything. But I had this argument I had with my girlfriend. So I went up there to the auditions and I performed the argument I had with my girlfriend. They knew it was a sham, and they was like, okay, tell me why we shouldn't kick you out for wasting our time. And just like I'm sitting here talking to you, and just like I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I told them that I had a goal, that by the age of 20, I wanted to be in my first Hollywood film, and it was 3 months before my birthday. I said, look, if that means I have to embarrass myself because I don't know what I'm doing, then I'm willing to do that. But what I will not do is let an opportunity pass me by. And then within I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, I got the phone call that I got the part in the movie.
Oh, wow.
And that kind of set me off. So to answer your question about Barbershop came right after that. So after working on Ali, Will Smith was really encouraging me that I kind of had the skill set to be a producer. And if you want to really have a long career in this industry, you want to take control of your career, just like he did. And it was because of him saying that I decided to go behind the scenes. And Barbershop 2 was the first movie I went behind the scenes and worked.
Wow, yeah, it's funny because you were saying that you got in a fight with your girlfriend, didn't play out, and 99% of the time to me it's hustle.
Yeah,
because I've been asked a few times, what does it take? And honestly, there's no formula to it.
No, it's no one way.
It's
no one way.
It's just so many different ways, but you got to have determination.
Yeah,
man, you got to have it. If you don't have that, then it's just. And it shows, as a young child, 10, you're inner city, you're doing what you do, and then you end up in Alabama, correct? No.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
And you make an Emmy-nominated documentary.
Yeah. And the fun thing about it is that people, they knew that I had something, but nobody saw my future but me. Like when I was walking on the red carpet, and I did the red carpet interview and it's on Fox, and everybody else was shocked and surprised that I was on TV. For me, it was like, okay, I see this in my dream all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a real the way my life is that I set a goal and I dream about it, I ponder it, I speak it out into existence, I write it down, because over time, your actions will start to line up with what your vision is and what your dream is. And I tell people all the time is that the thing that stops people from accomplishing their goals is that they stop right before their breakthrough happens. Me, I'm just the opposite of that person, is that I would rather die than to stop doing what I love to do, because I've seen how it plays out in my head. And when you see it, it changes your whole perspective on your dreams.
Well, we had that little conversation before we were airing, and you said that you remember the core people that were around you.
Yeah.
And now the core people have diminished.
Yeah.
And that just goes in reflection of what you just said. If you don't, you just see what's going to happen in your mind.
Yeah.
If you don't go the direction that you have that heart to go in.
Exactly.
And also, you brought up a good point about when you were younger, it was so much harder to get into the business in some sense.
Oh, yeah.
Because there wasn't Google. There wasn't all this stuff we backstage
no social,
and stuff
no
like we had.
Yep.
For people that don't know what backstage is, it's for actors and anyone who wants to get on audition. They go on the site and they can hopefully get auditions.
Yep.
But as you grew, you went. So you decided you want to get more into the production side.
Yeah.
Is there any actor side within you that you'd like to do as well?
Yeah, so I started out acting, to be honest with you. So when I went to Columbia College, I was strictly a theater actor. And I had gotten an opportunity to act in this one film, in this one play with a very successful playwright now. His name was Jon Ross. He gave me my first shot in his first play, and it was called New Beginnings. And I started out with the smallest role on that set, and then before you know it, because I was working so hard, I got one of the feature parts in that play. And after that, I never had to audition for anything else after that. People would just call me because they knew what I brought to the table. It was only because I was being typecasted that I got more so into producer, and that's why I was asking Will, it's like, how do you stop being typecasted? I'll always be the love interest, or I'll always be the terrible teen. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to do something that was totally different and something totally wild, so people could see the range that I had. And so, but acting was and always will be my first love. Yeah. But you know, you got to make money. So
yeah, that's the fun part of it all. You know, and you know, it's cool where you get roles just from what you do. Yeah. You know, when I was doing this stuff in Pilsen, the sound guy and the lighting guy came over and got my information. They go, let's just film that. You know, I'm going to be, you know, AD on and stuff. You know, you'd be perfect for the role. Yeah. Whether they get a hold of you or not, whatever. But it's just a simple fact they got your number.
Exactly.
You know? And I've gotten roles in the past just like you have in that sense. Yeah. Okay, send me the script. You want me to send in an audition? No, don't worry about it. It's yours. Yeah. Oh, wow, that was really cool. Yeah. You know, you just show up and. So you're producing, directing, and now you're moving into mentoring, I understand, too. Yeah. What's that about?
So the mentorship came about while I was teaching at John Casablanca's modeling agency. A lot, which is where I met you at, right? Yeah. And so a lot of my students felt that the time they would get with me was very short. But at the same time, I was seeing a lot of potential in a lot of my students, and I really wanted to be able to give back to them, and not only them, but majority of the people that I was mentoring outside of John Casablanca's were really asking me to come up with a solution to the problem they were having, which was they couldn't find work, right? Or if they could find work, the things they would have to do to get work, right? And we're not going to go into that conversation. It's a totally different conversation, right? And so for me, I've always been a person that wanted to solve problems in this industry. The more problems you solve, the longer your career can be. Yeah. And for me, is that I really fell in love with the independent market. I think that the way that Hollywood is going right now, they're still trying to search for a new way of really kind of monopolizing the market, because it has changed so much with the invention of the internet and the smartphone, but they still haven't figured it out yet. That's why you have all these remakes going on now. So right now, this is really an independent market. And so I think that it's only the wise thing to do to really invest into that and go the backdoor route is what I call it, because you have more control. You get more of the money, right? It takes a longer time. But my solution to that was coming up with a not-for-profit called Somebody's Nobodies. It was one thing that I've always noticed while I was mentoring people, is that they felt like they were nobody, right? And they felt like they had no identity in the industry. But I came up with a project to see if this vision of mine would work, which is telling somebody, okay, this is what I see that you're gifted on doing. Let's put it to work right away. So I came up with a movie called Bad Models and allowed them total control over creating this film. And they did a phenomenal job on it. And before I know it, it's like we move in 3 months later, and I'm getting a phone call that somebody's looking to put a TV show on called Celebrity Eats. And I said, okay, guys, I thought you did a great job on this Bad Model. How would you like to kind of step up and work with celebrities this time? And these guys have been a phenomenal, I mean, they've been a blessing to me, but they have done a phenomenal job with our new TV show called Celebrity Eats. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to multiply that. And so with Somebody's Nobodies, not only are we going to be in the Midwest market, but we're going to set up shop in Tampa Bay, Florida, in New York, and Las Vegas, and in Portland, Oregon. And in all these different regions, it will be people creating content. And then for me as the producer, I'm also going to get into distributing the content as well. Oh, wow. And so that is the vision of Somebody's Nobodies.
You're starting local, move regionally, and then move nationally, so to speak?
Yeah.
You know, I've been looking at stuff or hearing stuff, whether it's, between SAG and non-union stuff, and there's been a big dispute over all that stuff. Yeah.
And what, SAG and AFTRA just connected, right? They're one now, right? Yeah, I just heard about that.
So, but, independent-wise, it's much easier to make an independent movie because you don't have to pay SAG wages and so forth.
Yeah.
It's just hard to distribute it sometimes because you need those connections.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you've got some through the vast amount of things you've done.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
Connections,
I mean, you know
not the
people.
problem. Yeah.
And that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
But talent. Someone asked me a question, and with acting wise.
Yeah.
And I go, you know what? The funny thing is, they can't deny talent. If you're talented, regardless, they can't deny it.
It's true.
I mean, just stick true to what you want to do, as long as it's not like something that's out of the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be a head case or nothing, and just keep kicking what you do. It's kind of like you mentoring. Yeah. You speaking to the people you speak to.
Yeah. I think it's more so about having visionaries, right? What the industry is really missing is people that have this really, really big vision and just go out there and just do it, right? And kind of suck the market to them. And that's kind of what I am as a person. I think that's why I've had so much success, is that I'm such a visionary, right? And I'm not, you can't conform me and put me in this box. I'm always looking to go outside of the box. So that's why from 2014 and 2017, I spent time out of the country. I was in Nicaragua, I was in the Philippines, I was in China.
That. Yeah, you said you were overseas.
And I was just filming projects about poverty, but it was for me to be introduced to a totally different market, not only a different market, but I wanted to hear stories told from a different perspective, right? You can only tell so many stories from an American perspective.
Yeah.
I think that as you grow as an artist, it takes you outside of the boundaries of where you were born or you were raised. And I think that if you start to see more people doing it that way, it creates a totally different genre, a totally different market of artists and filmmakers. But you gotta take the risk of not making money starting out, and that's the part that kind of sets the people that are driven from the people that are not. When that money comes into play, it scares a lot of people away. Me, no, not me.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with me too.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to manage it as well, because you make it now, you might not make it again for another 6 months.
Yeah, or it's 6 years.
Yeah. So
it's
it's
crazy
just,
like that.
I mean, I get mailbox checks still for stuff I've done.
Yeah.
But eventually, there's a time on that where I won't too at some point.
Yeah.
But it's grown. You see everything getting saturated, like LA saturated with actors, and NYC's, In Chicago, I've always thought in my heart and my head that this is really an untapped market.
Yeah.
CineSpace is here, and I heard they were buying like so many more acres to build more things, more sets.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't anyone want to start, a production company, a legitimate, good production company, and do projects to some guidelines, which you're doing, we own Chicago now.
Yeah.
Because it's, God, one of my films, I don't want to talk about me a lot because you're here, won the Windy City Film Festival, Consequences, and we're on the red carpet, and we had a talk afterwards when I got on stage, and people from LA were there, producers and well, what do you think about, this, Mr. Pryor? I go, well, quite honestly, we got Chicagoans that should be on Chicago PD and Chicago Fire and Chicago Med. Yeah. Because you can't get an LA actor to act like a Chicagoan.
Right.
And if you can, they're not doing it very well, because I've seen all of them. With all due respect, Chicago, we do something, brother. Make your company huge and get more actors from Chicago, because we got some good Chicago actors.
Oh yeah.
Besides yourself and I.
Yeah. Well, I plan on. So next year, I have at least 3 projects coming to Chicago. One is a TV show called 37th Avenue. One is a movie called The Lost Shepherd. And then the other one, I forgot the name of the new one we're doing. I don't even think we have a name for this show, because it's still in pre-production for it.
Okay.
But we have
working title, just.
No, it's just. I call it Project Number 3 is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
But I do want to bring a lot of projects to Chicago and tell stories from a Chicago perspective. I think that Common doing his TV show, it does a good job of that.
Yeah.
But with the show that I want to do, I want to touch on stuff that's a little bit different. Like, I don't want to just touch on the violence in Chicago. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's prominent. But there's so many more issues that is sparking the violence there. And with 37th Avenue, it's a show about that, about dealing with not only addictions, but dealing with some of the issues that I feel like as a society we need to talk about.
Like a docu-movie, or?
No, it's just more so after the TV show, we're going to be raising like really serious issues on the TV show, but afterwards we'll go live on Facebook Live and have professionals talking about the issues that we're bringing up for the day.
Okay.
So it's a very interactive show, and I really wanted to do it that way because it's one thing to bring up the issue. It's another thing to have a solid conversation with what I call an educated conversation, right? Gotcha. So having the facts before you start talking about stuff, right? And then formulate an opinion outside of the facts.
Wow. Yeah. And that's kind of like with my show. I always want to get, I want to get artists on the show. I want to dedicate a specific amount of time to a short film or something to promote, you know, Chicago artists, promote directors, producers, actors, stand-up comedians, whomever. So get a hold of me. Send me your information, because I will give you a segment of the show. I will. We got to go. I could spend another hour here. But before closing, anything that you'd want anyone to know about, any upcoming things for yourself, or auditions, anything? Because you got to let me know when you start sending out audition notices.
Oh yeah. Just follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Let me see if I can remember all of them. My Twitter handle is Jon Ross, so EMMYJONROSS. My handle on Instagram is The Next Chapter Jon. That's without the H, so Jon. And then Facebook is just Jon Ross. I mean, I probably fill to the brim on Facebook, but definitely Instagram and Twitter. Just follow me on there, and just keep up with what I got going on. Next year is a very big year for me. My book comes out in August. It's called But I Made It, and it tells the story of how...
Your book?
Yes. You know
what? We're going to run an extra minute or two on this one. I want to hear about the book now.
All right. So, my book is called But I Made It, and it tells the story about how in 2011 I lost everything. Lost my house, lost cars, lost all the stuff, and how I had this one dream of becoming an Emmy-nominated filmmaker, and I've taken this film that I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I took this film and I remembered who I was, because I was totally devastated that I lost everything. But I remember who I was. I was a filmmaker. This is what I was made to do. And I took this product and I made an award-winning film. And I wanted to really inspire a generation of dreamers that your dreams can come true. You just got to remember who you are. Set your goal, which is, I call it the GPS of life, right? So you got to put the destination in the GPS and then trust that the GPS is taking you where you need to go. And that's what the whole book is going to be about.
Oh, now I got to read it. When is it coming out?
It's coming out in August.
And it'll Amazon, or?
It's going to be on Amazon, download it on iTunes, and in Barnes & Noble.
Awesome, awesome. God, I wish we would have talked about that. I mean, that's kind of rolls into your the charity as well. You know, that sounds neat. Now I can't wait. Well, it was a blast. Oh my God! Hopefully, it's not another 2 years.
Oh no.
I mean, we'll be around about doing stuff. So. Here we go, this camera. Hi, thank you for coming to the Dave Press Show. It was great having Jon here today. Hopefully I can get him in the near future. I'm going to snag some of his work, film work, so I can show it in the end of this show and in future shows too. So until next time, be happy, God bless, and be safe. Awesome.
I appreciate you, Dave.
Always, man.
Ladies, are you stuck in the pink-collar ghetto, working harder and getting paid less than men in the same position? Have you put in the long hours and failed to get that raise or promotion? Trained some snot-nosed little college kid, only to have him become your supervisor? Then the latest innovation from the good folks at Ramco is for you. Break through that glass ceiling with the Lee press-on penis. That's right, the Lee press-on penis, once a closely guarded secret known only to cross-dressing professionals, is available now through this limited time offer. Be the first gal in your office to advance just because you can pee standing up. Finally, get the respect and recognition you deserve with this versatile appendage. And that's not all. The Lee press-on penis makes the transition from boardroom to bedroom with ease. Show your husband or boyfriend who's really the boss. Handcrafted from the finest materials for a natural look and feel the discriminating female executive will love, the Lee press-on penis is self-adhesive for easy application. Just peel, stick, and start calling the shots. But wait, there's more. Brazilian waxes can be expensive and painful. Say goodbye to them forever with the Lee press-on penis. The Lee press-on penis is available in 3 sizes. President, CEO, and OMG, and is available in 10 realistic shades. Ask for it by name at your favorite drug or discount store today. That's the Lee press-on penis, because hard work isn't always enough. Show the world you've got a pair with the Lee press-on penis. Testicles sold separately. Okay. Welcome to the Busy Bee Day Spa and Steakhouse. What can I get for you?
Gee, you know what? I can't make up my mind. It all looks good.
You must be blind.
Beg your pardon?
I said take your time.
Yeah, right. Hey, say, you got any specials today?
Well, it looks like you haven't missed a meal. You might want to have a salad.
What'd you say?
I said try the salad. It's a real good deal.
Oh, okay. What kind is it?
Well, we have a shop salad.
Don't you mean chop salad?
No, shop. The chef does some woodworking on the side. And now if he's mowed the lawn, y'all get some nice fresh garden greens. And then if he's swept out the shop, you get that extra roughage and a built-in toothpick. I'd avoid the bacon bits, though.
Why? I love bacon.
Well, we feed the local strays. Just because it's brown and crumbly don't necessarily mean it's a pork product.
Oof. You know, that doesn't sound very appetizing. You know, I'm more of a beef eater.
Well, then you might like our State Fair special, the John Wayne Bobbit.
Huh?
Well, it's a dick on a stick. It's already got a hole for the stick, and it makes its own sauce. I just love it.
Yeah, you would.
I beg pardon?
Oh, I said it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. Well, you know, I mean, it is Friday. Do you have any fish dishes?
Well, we had a seafood special, but then Luann went and got her lady parts removed. So all you smell now is plain old tuna salad. Hey, how about a steak?
Yeah, great. Oh, what cuts do you have?
Well, since lotto fever's spreading around here faster than Luann's legs, we have what you call a pick 4.
What's that?
Well, we walk Bessie out on a leash, we hand you a chainsaw, and you just pick 4 cuts your own choosing. We ask that you not take all her legs, though, because wheelchairs is expensive.
You know what? No thanks. No, I think I'm in more mood for fowl.
And I'm just in foul mood, Buster. But you might like our chicken things.
Don't you mean chicken wings?
No, things. If it's crunchy, it's a beak.
Oh, God. You know, yeah, on second thought there. You know, no, I'm not very hungry. Maybe I'll just, I'll have dessert.
All right, but I'd avoid anything with cream filling if I was you.
Why is that?
Well, our pastry chef is lonely, if you catch my meaning. Say, you look like an adventurous fella. How about the Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity Horse's Patootie?
Great, I'll take it.
Excellent choice. I'll get that for you in a jiffy.
What the hell did we step into? Roadkill Diner says it all. This is your choice, not mine. This better be good, too.
Here you go. Folks, dig in.
Wow, it looks good. What do you think? I didn't see nothing special. Hold on. Doesn't taste that bad.
Oh, I'm glad
Say,
you like
why
it.
is it exactly called a horse patootie anyway?
Well, it's French.
For?
Asshole. What's the matter? Too much salt?
Yeah, salt. What the hell? Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Sorry, can I wrap that up for you?
Yeah. Wrap it up.
All righty.
Camínala. La vecinita del frente